We heard the comments you were making about the Undertaker and stuff. That was on what show was
Ariel
that?
Helwani.
Yeah, we played the audio yesterday.
We played the audio, and it was the first, I think, very candid interview you had about that situation. You have anything to add to that? Like why that happened?
No.
And a lot of people, are you willing to deny that this isn't some kind of work for WrestleMania? Because a lot of people are bringing that up on websites.
Why would I want to promote a show that I'm not even on? You know?
Well, that's just it. Are you? See, that's what they say, though. Well, they're like, oh, well, you know.
From here, I'm actually going to Atlanta.
They won't let it go, though. We played the audio.
No,
yesterday.
I know. You know,
no, it's a work. See, you don't
know
understand.
the wrestling fans.
Right. But
it
Brock
annoyed
is saying
me a lot.
it's a real fucking beef he's got with the Undertaker. You didn't explain, and I guess it's too personal what was actually said, which is fine. I mean,
You know, it boils down. It's really freaking. I mean, it's really nothing other than, you know.
It was such an odd
It just came out
thing
of
to
nowhere.
happen. Like, after that was a huge fight. I mean, obviously, you were not happy with the results.
No.
You walked out of there, and then to have something like that happen was kind of like, what the fuck am I looking at here?
Yeah, it was just a weird. It was a weird deal. I mean, it was. I got out of the octagon. I didn't know where I was. Kind of, you know, I knew where I was, but I mean, it was like, and I'm walking out, and I had heard that he might be there, and you know, so I wasn't. You know, it was just one of those weird. You bump into somebody, and it's like, yeah, yeah. So you really said that about me, and or, you know, so.
By the way, calling him Mark in that interview was brilliant because it just, that's the one thing that really made me laugh in that. It's like Undertaker, the undead, this, that, the other thing. It's like, oh yeah, Mark. And I was just laughing like, oh, that's a screw turner right there. Mark!
I just thought it was shitty timing. It's like, you know, a guy loses a real match. I mean, it was you know, the heavyweight championship, and to pull some shit like that on the way out.
Yeah. It's not your fucking.
I don't
it's not
even
your
know
show.
why he was there, really.
It's not your show, Lars.
Yeah,
I guess he likes MMA though. He's been to a few.
Yeah, he does, and I used to, you know, hang out. I mean, we're acquaintances. Everybody, you know, I don't keep in touch with anybody from there. You know, it's all, you know, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer in that business, and so it just is what it is.
Is it a very backstabbing kind of business?
I think I still got some knives in my hand.
Well, there has to be a certain amount, and you brought it up, a certain amount of jealousy as far as the fact that, look, you're in MMA. You're very popular. I mean, you're one of the faces of MMA. And a lot of those guys could never do what you do. Yet, at the drop of a hat, you could always just go back and do what they do.
Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the beauty of what I've been able to do is I've been able to pave my way because of who I am, you know, my amateur background and whatnot. But when you're in that business, the guy that's stroking the pencil is in charge. I'm in charge of my own destiny in this game that I'm doing. And when you're working for a company like that, you're not.
Is that why you wanted to leave?
Well, I left for a number of different reasons, and you know, I'm here to promote The Ultimate Fighter that is airing tonight, and also I got a tell-all book that's coming out May 24th. And
Oh shit!
So I go into why I decided to leave the company, and there was some other reasons.
Because MMA is harder. I mean, it's like, not that wrestling isn't a grind, but MMA, you're really being hit a lot harder than you're getting hit in wrestling. In the face. I mean, guys like Shane. First of all, Shane Carwin, how did you survive that? I couldn't believe that you kept
I got a head like a horse.
I have other things like a horse.
Ass.
You brushed over one thing. He's a true athlete, and you know, MMA is a real sport. I mean, the wrestling thing is entertainment, so he probably felt the competitive edge, and you wanted to get into fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the time. I wasn't built for the road. I wasn't built for being on the road 300 days a year. You know, it wasn't for me.
They kill you. We've had a lot of you. Well, I mean now
A lot of you guys.
No, I meant
a lot of you guys.
No, I meant wrestlers. We're friends with a lot of the guys, and that's the one thing that comes up a lot. It's like the grind will kill you.
Yeah, it's a grind.
So when you were fighting, I got to say too, because I watched the Kane fight. Was really, I was surprised he beat you. I know you were obviously surprised. Did he hurt you with there was an elbow it looked like he hit you with that was inadvertent. It didn't look like he meant to do it. I don't know why I had to explain inadvertent. You know, what means. Fucking dope I am. Say a word and then.
We inadvertently hired him.
Inadvertent is something you say when you come too fast. That was inadvertent. I apologize. I'll pay for the cleaning. So did he hit you with an elbow that kind of, it looked like right before he pounced on you, he hit you with an elbow?
Well, I've reviewed the fight quite a bit, and the thing that we picked up is there was a scramble that we got into, an exchange, where then he shot in and took me down. I was able to get back up to my feet, and there was just a left, I don't know if it's an uppercut or a hook that catches me right on the button, and that's where I end up spinning, lose my equilibrium, and then we get into another scramble. He hits me with a knee, which pretty much takes puts me on the street that I on the clear street.
Did you know when you got hit with the uppercut? Does it flash through your mind like, oh shit, I'm in trouble? Oh shit.
Yeah. You know when you can't. When your mind is telling your body to do something, it's not reacting. That's a shitty place to be.
And you know he's not in that position.
Yeah, he's not. So you better just. You're looking for exit stage left to get your bearings.
Damn, man.
When you tapped, when you first fought Frank Mir, it was one like you were new, so that he got you with something that an experienced guy would get a newer guy with. I mean.
Yeah, he got me in a fair and square knee bar, but I think. I gave that fight to him. I stepped right in for it, and it was just foolish. We had known, and I had trained for that, and for me to actually do it. That's why there was a lot of anger when for the rematch for me. There was a lot
because you trained just for that situation.
Well, we did. You know,
and when it happened, you're probably like, "What did I do?"
Like, fuck.
It was like I was in drilling, and I was like stepping in and giving the guy my leg so I could get out of it. And I gave it to him.
Oh shit!
So it was like, dumb shit.
Brock's funny, man.
Do you dislike Mir or no? Because it seems like you hated him.
I didn't dislike him as a person. Nonetheless, I just more disliked him because he beat me.
Is there that thing, like after a fight when you get beat? I mean, do you feel differently about the person, and is it personal or strictly professional?
You know, once you get over the especially if you win, then it's like turn the page. I'm on to the next.
Right, yeah,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
But you know, we forget about that, and but now when you lose, those for me anyways, those things haunt me until I can seek revenge.
Now, when you do get a rematch, do you look at what happened when you lost and say? I mean, obviously you're going to say, I'm not going to let that happen again. But do you train differently to so it doesn't happen again? Is there something different in your training?
Yeah, you always want to capitalize and do the best and be better and fix your mistakes, obviously.
And mentally, is there anything different when you go into a rematch that you lost that you're like, oh fuck, this guy did beat me last time? Is it harder?
No, I don't. Not for me, it's not. I mean, I haven't lost a lot in my life.
Yeah,
I know that.
So but I mean, the losses that I have suffered are painful to me. I've got a loss in 1999 at the NCAA tournament against a guy by the name of Stephen Neal, who plays now for, I think he still plays for the Patriots, but that's a loss that sticks with you for a long time, and prevented me from becoming a NCAA champion, and I had to, of course the next year I was, but then Frank Mir and now Cain Velasquez, and so yeah, those are.
Yeah, why are we talking about him getting his ass kicked?
Well, no,
how about
because
his victories, goddammit?
Was it weird for you having taken the role as a coach and kind of mentoring like a younger fighter?
I was refreshed by doing it. I think it was. I had experience coaching wrestling throughout my career, and so it was one of those things where I felt like I had no pressure. I could go in. These guys there was the same objective that they wanted to win, and I want to get my title back. So we were all. We were all there learning.
Do you see some people when you go into this and think like, phew, this guy ain't got a chance in hell.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Sometimes I look in the mirror and say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because I can only imagine there's a few people that are involved in the show that you're coaching where it's just like, dude, find a trade.
Yeah.
Can we talk?
Your day job.
Can we talk about the health thing? Because when that hit,
Sure.
everyone was like, "Holy crap,
I
what's
think
going
it
on?"
was,
yeah.
What's
Yeah,
going on
freaking
with
out.
Brock?
Yeah.
People, the rumors were when Dana said
Even
that you were out.
Dana,
Yeah, I
Dana
was dead for like a day or two.
Well, Dana,
Yeah, that was
Dana and Joe Rogan both were pretty close with it. They came on our show like, guys, we can't say much, but this is not good.
Yeah.
And they were hinting that this is, they were more worried about you living than ever fighting again.
Yeah, it was a scary deal. I mean, I was training for the fight against Shane Carwin the first time, and I had to pull the fight because I couldn't train for 2 weeks. I was so exhausted. My stomach had worn my immune system down, and I wasn't aware of it. I go on and explain in my book about this whole story as well. But I pull out on the fight. I asked my doctor if I can go to Canada, where I've got me and my brother have got some property and do some hunting, and I get up there and next thing I know I'm in a cold sweat and I feel like I got shot in the stomach. So
wow.
And I'm bouncing around from hospital to hospital up there trying to figure out and get the right health care and the right machines to take pictures of me, and it was a scary deal. This is an illness that a lot of people have and they're unaware of it, and I can't really put my finger on the cause of it, and nobody really can, but I dodged a bullet by not having to have the surgery,
Right.
because all the doctors want to remove 12 to 14 inches of my colon.
And that's a career ender. And
shit in a sack for 6 months.
Oh, really?
Fuck
You
that.
know? So I deferred that and just said I'm going to try to do this on my own and change my diet up and make it easier for my system to digest food.
You kicked the disease's ass.
It's amazing. Totally is amazing.
It is
My
amazing.
God.
I can't even drop 10 pounds on the elliptical. You fucking beat diverticulitis.
Hey, you mentioned your brother in there. What does he do?
He's a farmer.
He's a farmer?
We're farmers.
He doesn't fight or anything like that?
No, those days are over. He'd like to, I think.
Is he a monster like you?
He's a big hoss.
Monster.
He's a big hoss. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Pulling a plow.
Yeah, he's a workhorse.
Were you ever bullied growing up or no? Like, were you the guy who was
Yeah,
bullied? Or
we were just talking about that on the ride yesterday. You know, this whole bullying thing pisses me off. You know? I think it's all right for to an extent for somebody to get bullied, builds character a little bit. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, these cops or moms and dads that want to run around and protect people. There's life on the street. There's nobody. It's you out there.
Yeah, I think part of social skills is growing up is getting a fist in your face every so often, or at least getting called names and having to defend yourself.
I think it's so different now, the age of technology, and everybody's just sheltered.
Yeah.
They don't have to communicate. We can communicate via text message.
Cyberbullying.
And I don't know. It's
Do you tweet? Do you do
no,
any
I
of that
don't.
shit?
No, I don't Facebook. I don't tweet. I don't.
Right. Yeah, we learned that about him. He likes to go in the woods and hunt.
Yeah, I just.
You like to get. You like to get away when you're not in the spotlight, right?
I just don't like. Why would I want to put my life out for everybody to? I don't like to be contacted.
They say it's hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
You got to go wander around in the woods to find Brock.
Shooting flares up.
Put up the Lesnar signal.
I think Joe said that. I think Joe Rogan said that. When Dana finally needs Brock, they got to kind of wander around and try to find him. Do you have a cell phone at least?
The woods.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Do you bow hunt or rifle?
I bow hunt. Yeah, both.
Strictly bow?
No.
Yeah.
No, I shoot guns.
You like guns?
I like guns. Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
God
One of my
damn.
biggest sponsors is Federal Premium
Federal
Ammunition.
Ammo?
Yeah, Fusion. I'm the spokesperson for Fusion Ammunition, and I just love
Rifles? Do you like pistols too?
Absolutely, I got guns at NRA all the way.
Yeah, me
Oh, yeah.
too. I was lucky enough to get my New York City carry permit,
Oh, good
which is almost
for you.
impossible to get. And love going to the range. I'm not a big hunter, especially here in New York. It's kind of rough, to go out on Long Island and shoot a bunny rabbit on some poor Jewish neighbor's lawn. But But no, I love target shooting and just challenging yourself.
Me too.
Putting that target out further and seeing that. It's a lot of fun.
Let me ask Brock a question. Do you have a 50 cal on your kitchen table?
I got a 50 cal in my bedroom.
Oh, in the bedroom. All right. Well, at least that's for defense. He had it on his kitchen table.
I picked up at Barrett 50 cal and going out to Calverton out East on Long Island.
I got a Desert Eagle in it.
Yeah, I got a Desert Eagle.
I got a Macmillan custom.
How fun is it the first time you shoot that eagle? You just like you laugh, and it's funny. You just start laughing.
It's like sitting on a tank, but you're not.
It's in your hand. It's
howitzer.
great, man. That must look like a Walther PPK in your hand, though.
That's a big weapon.
Yeah, it is.
Gun, yeah. But, all my guns are loaded.
Yeah.
So
am I. No, I mean my guns. Wait a minute. It's a drunk joke.
I think for me, I think it's
a part of your, it's part of our
my
rights
life.
here.
It's
That's what it is
my
for
life.
me.
I grew up that way, and
Yeah.
we could drive around with the guns in the back window, and
Yeah, you come from a place where it was a little easier.
Yeah, back
Here,
in the
it's
day,
just
I brought
stupid,
guns
man.
to school.
Yeah,
But they were to go hunting.
There was
we didn't-
shooting
I didn't
clubs
think
and-
about shooting anybody.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Now, if you draw a picture of a gun in school, you're off to the fucking shrink and you're suspended for a certain amount of time. I think and I honestly do think it's a healthy thing. It's challenging, it's fun, and it doesn't.
I think if you don't grow up around it, or if you're uneducated about it, you're
Right.
probably pretty scared. There's things that I disagree with, and I probably would admit that I'm uneducated about it.
Would you wear a gun? Let me say this. Would you wear a gun?
Here we go.
And I'm just concerned about Anthony. Would you wear a gun in the house? He's armed in his house. He has.
Well, you know what? I have a big house. I've heard of a lot of home invasions in my neighborhood, and I'm not paranoid to think the door's going to bust open or something. But when my guns are upstairs in the safe, upstairs locked, it's very hard at a certain point to, if something suddenly does happen and I do need to get to one of my guns, to go and get it when I'm cut off from the stairway.
Well, that's the worst. That's why every gun in my house is loaded all the time.
That's what you got to do.
An empty gun is useless.
It's useless. What are you going to throw it at the guy?
Yeah.
You know what? The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, when he was killing these old women, and the woman had a rifle under the bed, and she pulled it out and she aimed it at him.
Click.
Oh.
Because her grandchildren had visited, and they had the husband had unloaded the gun a few days earlier, and she didn't realize that. So
that's not good.
yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't mean to.
I mean,
stop
as
the
my
interview.
kids get older or whatnot, they're aware. But I got really young children. But as they get older, I'm going to have to be more,
More careful.
way more careful.
And the best thing is, because a lot of parents, I think, try to just shield the kids from the gun. The best thing to do is completely educate them.
My daughter is totally educated.
Yeah.
She shoots guns. She shoots bow. I mean, she's totally educated about how they work.
My dad did a great job of educating us growing up. He showed me the gun when I was a kid. He said, "You fucking touch this thing, I'm belting you in the fucking face." It was great. He was a great dad when it came to
Pistol whip the shit
Yes,
out of you.
he actually did. He pistol whipped me like fucking Goodfellas.
How old's the daughter there, Brock?
She'll be 9.
9, and she's already working the guns.
All right,
his
you got a few years before
Yeah.
a poor son of a bitch has to knock on your door.
Fuck.
Oh no! Hey, there's this lovely girl. I want to
Jesus.
take her out. Let me see. Oh, the dad is
my
Brock
God,
Lesnar.
no.
Yeah, this is great.
He's gonna open the door, and they're just gonna go. You know what? I'm gay. And now, do you have sons? Which I think the names are the greatest names. Turk and Duke are your sons' names.
Yeah.
I mean, that you can't pick more fucking man names.
That is, you really
Turk
did
and Duke.
go for it on that one.
Yeah.
Any you just like the names, or were you thinking?
No, I just like the names. The Duke, he was the man back in the day, and Turk. I don't even know. There was a guy in amateur wrestling that had the name Turk, and a television show with Robert De Niro. His name, the role he played on the show was
the movie.
Turk. The movie. Yeah.
Oh God,
Rooster,
Rooster,
Righteous Skill.
Turk and Rooster.
Rooster and Turk.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, tell them how much you love those
We
names.
didn't love the
We
film.
didn't appreciate the movie
We
there,
make
Brock.
fun of Pacino's
Really?
lips. No, we didn't like the movie. I was at the premiere, and I didn't get to meet either one of them. It was humiliating. I had to sit in front of Erwin Winkler, the producer, and Pacino's lips you could see at the end. Watch the last scene when he's like, "Continued success," and then he dies. And when the camera pans, you can see Pacino's little lips, and we've just become obsessed.
The lifts on his shoes.
It's
Yeah,
just adorable.
because he's a little guy.
Little fella.
He's a little guy.
We're running out of time. Are you gonna get a
shit.
rematch with Velasquez? Or
Well,
what?
I'm gonna beat
You gotta beat-
DeSantos, and then I will.
Well, we already know that's going to happen. You're
Yeah.
gonna
Is
beat
that,
him.
is that what happens? Winner of this goes and fights
last
Kane?
person? Oh,
What about
fuck.
Carwin?
That's cool.
He's out. He had an operation. I guess whatever happens when he comes back, he fights where he fights.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to. I just pay attention to me.
Who am I? Who am I beating up?
Who hit harder? Was it Kane or Shane Carwin?
Really, that's the stupidest thing that I can hear.
Ah,
When people laugh, but and it's not a stupid question.
no, it was.
I don't think anybody really hits any harder than anybody else. It's just a matter of getting hit in the right spot.
Where it
Right.
is.
And I thought that
How many
too.
times in a row
Yeah,
it is.
so I
My
mean,
nephew wanted me to ask. He's here today, and he goes, "Please ask." I'm like, "Brock's not gonna like that question." So Nicholas, I asked for you.
Oh, he sold you out.
No, but I'm not saying, but it's just like people that don't get hit, or like, well, how do you train to get hit? You don't like getting hit. You don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
You don't. Nobody. I'm sure some guys hit harder than others, but I don't have a hit monitor on my face
Right.
or anything, or something like in that respect. But all I know is that Shane Carwin brought the thunder, and I withstood it and was able to capitalize, and Cain Velasquez hit me in the right spots, and he was the better fighter that night.
I don't fight professionally. I just want to clarify because people see guys like me and Brock and they just assume. But I don't. What we do, like, we have a lot of guys. We've interviewed a lot of the guys come in, and I know you kind of did it on Fallon, but we've been doing it for a while. Where I try to ask them to put me a very.
Oh, you want to go to sleep? Is that
Very
No.
subtle.
I really don't.
He's gotten very subtle arm bars where it's like he
TJ
goes,
Penn
"Ah!"
armbarred me. Couture and Kane both. Kane guillotine choked me, and Fedor did mostly my arm, and then he choked me, and he really enjoyed it. Like, if you watch the video, he's like, he
he's
smiled for the
laughing.
whole interview until he's choking
He
me.
is laughing.
And I was
Yeah.
technically his last victory. And so I wanted to know if you would put me in something, but not. I tapped very quickly, and
He tapped so quickly.
Really
quick.
I'll just do something really simple on
Okay.
my leg.
Yeah, this is
Hold on, where do I tap now, Brock? That's a very important.
this is just something
He's
really
got him
simple.
around the calf
my hand is here.
with his arm.
Okay, he's got my
calf.
he's
This
got my
is it.
calf,
And now he's putting the front of
wow! What Brock did was he took my leg. He's got my leg under his arm.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised. We could do that just one more time, but not for a long
That's it.
time.
The leverage
Well,
he's got on his
is there
shin.
another one?
That's just an Achilles lock.
That's an Achilles lock.
This is.
Oh,
this would
okay.
Be a, this,
good.
this would be a heel hook.
A heel hook. Oh, that looks.
Okay.
Wow! That's oh, I don't like the heel hook at all. Oh. Wow! Do you know how you knew that was going to suck? Because as he's explaining, there's no pressure being applied. I'm like, I don't like this already. That's how you would beat me. If we were fighting and you just went heel hook, I'd go, all right,
All right,
I'm fucking finished.
He tapped at the fucking monologue.